Salem, USA. In the kaleidoscopic world of daytime drama, secrets are not simply plot points, they are living, breathing organisms. They fester behind potted plants in the town square, whisper through the walls of the DeMera mansion, and simmer in half-empty coffee cups at the Brady pub. But this week, from April 13 to 17, Days of Our Lives executes a narrative maneuver that transcends the typical soap opera reveal. It offers a masterclass in suspense architecture, emotional collateral, and the subversion of the trusted confidant. The headline is deceptively simple: Marlena Evans learns a wild secret. For any other character, that phrase might elicit a shrug. But this is Dr. Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, the town's resident psychiatrist, a woman who has been possessed by the devil, given birth to a serial killer, the late, great, and eternally resurrected Roman. No, that's another story, and survived more alien abductions than a sci-fi B-movie. When Marlena finds a secret, wild, the narrative stakes are not just raised, they are catapulted into low Earth orbit. But what makes this week's preview genuinely creative is not the secret itself. Rumors swirl around a long-buried paternity, a hidden twin, or a betrayal involving John Black's past with the Issa. No, the innovation lies in how the secret is structured. Let's break down the creative machinery. The architecture of the delayed detonation. Most shows, even prestige dramas, rely on the confrontation reveal. Character A walks in on character B, gasp, commercial break. Days has done that brilliantly for 60 years. But the April 13th preview suggests a different beast: the slow peel. According to insider spoilers, carefully parsed from the weekly promo, Marlena doesn't simply stumble upon a document. She pieces the secret together through three distinct creative beats. 1. The false comfort. She begins the week counseling a patient, likely a panicked Eric or a guilt-ridden Brady, about the importance of transparency. Irony, the writer's oldest friend, is placed front and center. 2. The inconsistent detail. A throwaway line, a mismatched date on a medical file, a photograph in the wrong year, a familiar locket on a stranger's neck. This is Chekhov's gun loaded and left on the mantelpiece. 3. The off-screen realization. Here is the true creative leap. The spoilers indicate Marlena's discovery happens between scenes. We see her enter her office, composed. We cut to a conversation between Stephanie and Alex. When we return, Marlena's hands are trembling. She doesn't scream. She whispers, "Oh, God." That means, the audience is forced to backfill the logic. It's a trust fall between writer and viewer, treating the soap audience not as passive consumers but as co-detectives. The subversion of the psychiatrist's couch. The most ingenious layer of this week's preview is the inversion of Marlena's role. For decades, she has been Salem's moral and psychological anchor. She hears secrets for a living. She is the vault. To make the wild secret land, the writers have weaponized her profession against her. The secret she learns is not one told to her in confidence by a patient. It is one she accidentally uncovers about her own inner circle, likely involving her daughter Belle or her longtime love, John. Consider the creative paradox. The one person equipped to process trauma is the one person who cannot ethically process this. She can't confront the secret holder without betraying another confidence. She can't unknow it. She can't use her therapeutic tools on herself because she is too close to the canvas. This is the genius of Days in its modern era. Character consistency as plot engine. Marlena won't burst into a room and accuse. She will analyze. She will run differential diagnoses in her head. She will write in her journal, delete the entry, and then pour a scotch, a rare visual cue that the doctor is now the patient. The ripple effect of one truth. A lesser show would treat the revelation as an end-of-week cliffhanger. But the April 13th preview, spanning 5 episodes, treats the secret as a toxin spreading through Salem's water supply. The ripple on John. Expect John Black, Drake Hogestyn, to sense Marlena's distance but misinterpret it as marital drift. The creative tension comes from the audience watching him solve the wrong mystery. His investigation into what's wrong with Doc will run parallel to the truth, creating a tragic near-miss by Thursday's episode. The ripple on the next generation. If the secret involves a parentage twist, a perennial Days specialty, then characters like Brady, Belle, or even the newly returned Tite will react not with soapy melodrama, but with eerie, realistic silence. The preview shows a dinner scene at the Kuryaki's mansion where no one eats. That's powerful blocking. Food uneaten signals an appetite poisoned by knowledge. The ripple on the villain. Every great secret needs a keeper. If Stefano were alive, he's not, probably, he'd be smirking. Instead, look for a secondary character. Perhaps a returning Megan Hathaway or a sleeper agent, to have known this all along. The creativity here is that the villain doesn't reveal the secret. They simply wait for the fallout, like a spider who didn't need to build a web because the fly is already tangled. Why this works as creative news in an era of bingeable streaming. The daily soap opera is often dismissed as an anachronism, but Days of Our Lives, now in its 6th decade, has evolved a unique form of serialized intimacy. Unlike a Netflix drop, you cannot fast forward through the awkward silences. Unlike a weekly cable drama, you live with these characters 5 days a week. The Wild Secret of April 13th works because it respects that rhythm. It's not a twist for shock value. It is a slow puncture, a letting of air from a balloon you didn't even know was overinflated. Marlena's journey this week is a reminder of a core creative principle. The best secrets aren't about what is hidden. They are about what happens to the person who finds it. Will she use the secret as a scalpel to heal, or as a dagger to wound? The preview's final shot, Marlena alone in her office, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek, the word, wild, echoing in the silence, suggests the answer is neither. She will use it to understand. And in Salem, understanding is the most dangerous weapon of all.